Hello and welcome to Studio 415.
On today's show, you will see a recap of the ALICE drill from first semester.
You'll hear from the administrators and teachers about why late assignment policy is different from class to class.
And you'll get to hear about 3 new classes coming to Carroll next year.
All that and more coming up next.
Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Katie Gloyd.
And I'm Aubrey Poerke. In response to the recent school shootings, the students and staff at Carroll felt like a change in the current lockdown drills was necessary.
Carroll's administrators carefully planned a drill that allows students to effectively practice ALICE. Studio 415 reporter Amelia Cisna was able to follow the intruder around the school and bring us this story.
On Wednesday, December 12th, the school conducted a planned enhanced ALICE drill during homeroom. During the drill, the staff and administration communicated with each other primarily through handheld radios and the PA system. The teachers would relay information on where the intruder was located to the administrators, who would make a PA announcement to the rest of the school. While there had been concerns about issues like too much radio traffic, Assistant Principal Michael Lackland feels like the communication ran smoothly.
We, as administrators, were able to kind of see the progression of where the intruder was and how he was moving, the direction that he was moving. We were a bit concerned about radio traffic just because there's so many radios. But really, it was pretty smooth and pretty clear.
The goal of the drill was to ensure that students felt confident in their decision-making skills in lockdown situations. The drill was also a way to improve the speed of communication between administrators, as well as to ensure that those handling information are confident in their ability to convey it. In Principal Brandon Bidding's words, the drill was a communications practice piece.
One of the goals for the administration is just to see how well and how quick we can get good information out to our staff and students so they can make informed decisions.
The drill was broken into 2 scenarios. The first scenario started at 10:20 a.m. An intruder was outside the 1012 building and attempting to enter but was not successful. The drill finally ended when police apprehended the intruder at 10:28 a.m. The second scenario was more directly related to the students and their reactions. Starting at 10:37 a.m., the intruder was inside Carroll Freshman Center and tried to enter classrooms. The drill ended again with police apprehending the intruder at 10:45 a.m. During both scenarios, each class had to decide how they should initiate ALICE through either locking down, countering the intruder, or evacuating the school. Though the school has enacted lockdown drills before, many students consider the enhanced ALICE drill a success in terms of preparing for the worst-case scenario.
I think there's a lot of things that can be a threat potentially, and there's a lot of different things that it could, like different scenarios that could go on, and it's hard to be prepared with every single scenario. But I think for the most part, we can be as prepared as we can.
The Huntertown Fire Department, as well as local police officers, observed the drill as it happened. The administrators were also stationed throughout the school, along with Officer Lewis and Officer Colvin, to ensure that the drill was running as planned. The administration called local police and fire stations to ensure that, if any passerby happened to see students evacuating and call 911, emergency responders would know that it was just a drill. Considering the success of the first drill, the administration has already begun talking about a second drill for next semester, with more complex levels added to address a variety of situations. While the thought of having more of these drills may make some students apprehensive, Lackland thinks that it will help to empower them to endure a dangerous situation.
Our intention is never to give people anxiety. Our intention is actually quite the opposite. Our intention is to empower people and encourage them that if something should happen, they know what to do when they're ready.
Just like fire drills and tornado drills, the administration hopes that we never have to endure these circumstances, but is always preparing for the worst. They hope the drill is as beneficial for the students as it was for the teachers and staff members. For Studio 415, I'm Amelia Cisna.
As students travel from class to class, day after day, it can be difficult to remember how each teacher runs their classroom.
One example is that some classes do not accept late assignments. Some do with a penalty, and other classes will accept late work with no penalty.
Since CHS allows teachers to manage their classes differently, Studio 415 reporter Chris Jones explored why Carroll has such an inconsistent late policy.
The first day of a new semester, when a teacher goes over their syllabus, is more important than many students think. Teachers take a whole class period out of a busy semester to go over the expectations and rules of their classroom to give students all the tools they need to succeed that semester. One such element of classroom policy that is generally glossed over by students is each individual teacher's late work policy. Students may notice that something as important as late work policy for a classroom is not consistent across the whole school. The administration, along with Principal Brandon Bidding, made this choice intentionally. Bidding has found that if a school with the same size and class variety of CHS were to institute a school-wide late policy, no matter how good it looked on paper, the policy would always unnecessarily complicate some classes or go against some of the staff's teaching styles. An obvious drawback of this policy is the constantly changing standards set on students, but Bidding explains the administration's expectations on how teachers work around this.
And the goal for us is that we communicate it effectively so there's no surprises, and so the hope is that the teachers are placing that in their syllabuses, placing that out in the students' hands and going through that material early in the semester. So,
due to the necessity of a fluid late work policy at Carroll, Bidding leaves it up to the different departments in Carroll to determine the late work policy that works best for their classes. Bidding also allows teachers to decide their own late work policy at a classroom level to best fit their teaching style. All this freedom also comes with a lot of trust placed on the teachers by Bidding, but he also expects students to understand the late policy on a class-by-class basis. One such teacher with a distinctive late policy is English teacher Justin Smith. Smith has worked in 3 different schools and uses his past experiences to create a system he believes will be most helpful for students to succeed. Smith prefers that his students turn in all work on time and has a policy to support this. Generally speaking, he accepts no late work with reasonable exceptions.
And those kids that are really working and they need extra time, I'm going to give it to them. Now those kids that are going to, not use their time wisely and then they're going to ask for more time, I'm not so lenient when it comes to that.
Smith prefers this policy over his colleagues' policies for multiple reasons, primarily because he believes that it is important for students to understand and complete the material being taught in a unit. If Smith were to allow late work to be turned in and a student missed an assignment, he believes that they would get overwhelmed trying to make up the late work on top of the other assignments for his class. Another teacher with a distinctive late work policy is English teacher Carrie Weishart. Weishart has taught in 6 different school districts over the course of 19 years. She believes that if her assignments are truly meaningful and students should do every single one, then there is no reason to accept a 0 in the gradebook.
So what that means is whether it's now or 2 weeks down the road, you needed that assignment to grow in the skills that you need to have to complete my course. So you have to do the assignment, whether it's now or 2 weeks later.
She has created assignments that are more meaningful in order to avoid busy work and to help students gain skills that they can use in the real world. As can be seen, there is no real end-all be-all policy that's going to work for every single class. That being said, this made the only logical solution to permit teachers to individually create their own policies. This has allowed each classroom to run smoothly while also putting a bit of responsibility on the students. For Studio 415, I'm Chris Jones.
College is just around the corner for the class of 2019. Many juniors and sophomores are also dreaming about going to a university.
Not only is this next step exciting for all, it comes with a big responsibility of how to pay for it all. Studio 415 reporter Cassie Boney tells us about a great way to reduce that cost.
Paying for college can be a very difficult task, especially since most cost between $10,000 to $48,000 each year. This large range is based on if the school is private or public, as well as the variety of what they have to offer. The fear of paying this price is terrifying since many don't have this amount of money. One way to lessen that stress is through scholarships. Scholarships are financial aid that's designed to help students pay for college without having to pay the person back like a loan. Many students are taking advantage of this opportunity. Bryce Ginder is a senior at Carroll High School and has applied for 7 scholarships to help pay for his college. He has earned $500 so far from the Friends of Lincoln Museum for his essay about the Lincoln-Douglas debates.
Choose scholarships you're interested in, because then it makes it fun when you're applying or writing these essays. So you're not just writing a stupid essay, you're writing something you're interested in, because there's medical scholarships, or in my case, history scholarships.
Bryce isn't the only student at Carroll who has received an award. Jefferson Hughes is now able to go to college with no charge due to earning the Lilly Scholarship. This scholarship required Hughes to answer questions, submit transcripts, and pour his heart into an essay. Because of this, everything from books, classes, and any other fees from college will be taken care of.
The hardest part was honestly I was writing the essay about like the struggles you had been through, because it's usually not things like you want to think about, like in my case, and also it's like 4 pages long, and it's, you have to write like a good essay about yourself, and you're not used to like doing that kind of stuff.
For anyone who is interested in earning money for their college career, here are some helpful tips to get started with. The first tip is check out websites. Just searching the word scholarships brings up many websites that are filled with them. Websites like Niche, Unigo, scholarships.com, FastWeb, and so much more. Each website has many scholarships from many different topics. Many of these websites will even let you set up an account where they can make your search easier by finding and suggesting scholarships that are fitted towards you. Whether it is hobbies, career, or interest-based, anything you can think of, they probably have a scholarship for. Another way to go find scholarships is the NACS website, where the counselors have set up a page for students to go and find even more scholarships.
My advice is to check the scholarship website frequently, check all scholarship sites frequently, weekly if you can, and apply to as many as you think fit to you. The more you apply to, the more likely you are to get some funds.
Not only does our school have sites to go to, but any of the colleges or universities students are applying to will also have a list of scholarships that they offer. Tip 2. If online searches are not your thing, then our library, as well as the Allen County Public Library, has several books to look at. Tip 3. Not all scholarships are page-long essays. Some are surveys or crafts. There are scholarships for absolutely anything, from favorite ice cream flavors, to sports, to academics, to even zombies. There will be something out there that applicants will enjoy applying for. Tip 4. Apply for as many scholarships as you can, because even if it's only a couple $100, it will help in the long run.
Hopefully with this information, students realize that it's not that difficult to apply. And also, who doesn't like free stuff? For Studio 415, I'm Cassie Boney.
4 out of 6 games into the season, Carroll High School's Champions Together team has had a successful run thus far.
Studio 415 reporter Zizi Kokenheim takes a shot at describing how the program has changed the lives of all who are involved and joins us now with more.
In my story, you'll get to see how all the students involved with Champions Together cherish their relationships both on and off the court. Champions Together is now in its 4th year at Carroll High School. It unifies general and special ed students through cooperative sports. This school year, the program started its first flag football season. The team had a strong success, winning the sectional championship. The basketball team now looks forward to carrying that same energy from the field to the court.
Obviously, we had a great football season, flag football season. Basketball season is coming a little slow. We've had some cancellations. We've really improved from past years and even from the beginning of practice this year.
The team currently holds a strong 3-1 record, losing to Northside last week. Special ed students are the athletes, while general ed students help guide gameplay and keep the action moving. They play other high school teams in the area under the IHSAA Special Olympics Indiana League. These games are played in between Carroll JV and varsity games. Champions Together has over 100 participants in the program, with 15 athletes on court. Student partner Kate Turk explains how the games are run.
In basketball, it's more just like we kind of help out, I guess. Like we don't really play in much of the games. It's like 10-minute running clock, so there's no stopping. And we try and switch out athletes halfway through so that everyone gets equal playing time. And then the people that are on the court, we try and mix up the ball so that everyone gets a chance to shoot and dribble.
Even though the athletes have a great time on the court, off court, they continue to enjoy the relationships and bonds made. Athlete AJ Macon describes the connections he has made between the partners and other athletes.
Because I love the helpers, and then they're funny, and then I love the outlets people. Yeah, and then they're fun.
But the relationships don't end at the blow of the whistle. Many of the bonds developed over hours of games and practice carry throughout the day in hallways, classes, and outside of school walls.
We've been Christmas caroling the last 2 years. Last year we did a curling, basically just being social. Going out to eat, going to the movies, miniature golf, whatever it takes to get these kids out of the house and into a social setting.
Champions Together meets for practice in the Alumni Gym every Monday and Thursday to prepare for upcoming games. Contact Coach Bodenstein for an opportunity to get involved with the upcoming track season. If you want to see the athletes in action,
come meet the team out at their next game on February 5th at home. From Carroll High School's
Champions Together!
And Studio 415, I'm Zizi Kokenheim.
Already halfway through the school year, advances are already being made for next year.
CHS is currently planning to add new classes to the 2019-2020 course selection guide.
In my story, we'll learn more about the new classes and what they're about.
The year is zooming by, and the school board is already adding new classes to the course selection sheets. So far, there are only 3 known classes that have been approved by the board. Those classes consist of Exercise Science Career Class, Visual Communication/Storytelling, and Web Design.
So the storytelling is just the potential careers that are involved in that line of communication with fine arts as the background. Same with web design. The web design class is meant to, again, introduce students to potential opportunities that exist post-high school. And even with the health education class, again, it's the giving students the opportunity to basically look and see what kind of careers there might exist in the world of physical education when you're talking about personal trainers and things of that nature. So it's really kind of an introduction to that, to opportunities that may exist after high school in that field.
Though these classes are being added to course selection sheets for next year, if there are not enough students that wish to take them, they will not be available for the upcoming year. These classes will be open to anyone and everyone who chooses to take them, the only requirements being that an earlier or lower level class of the same corresponding course must be taken beforehand.
With the storytelling, you're going to need some basic art classes. With the web design, you're going to need some introductory computer science class. The key point with all of our classes is you want to make sure that you are looking at the course description guide. They're going to have the prerequisite courses listed right there for you, so you make sure for any of the courses we have offering that you can hit the right prerequisite.
It is still to be determined who will be teaching these classes, but they will belong to the physical education and art departments. The one course, web design, is known to be a joint class. It will be shared between both the art and computer science departments. As of now, the current web design class only focuses on the visual aspects of designing a website, but for next year, teachers such as Mr. McFerrin and Mr. Campbell hope the new web design class, which will be focusing on both the programming and designing of a website, will be added to the student schedules next year. If you're interested in taking a joint design and programming class, a visual arts storytelling course, or even an exercise class to help prepare you for the activities of a possible future in a science career, then make sure to add the class to your student course selection sheets for next year. For Studio 415, I'm Aubrey Powerke.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching.
If you have a story idea for us to cover, please let us know.
And if there's an event you would like covered, please tell us in advance.
For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carol.
Sunny days and friendly smiles, walk the halls with me. Studio 415. Watch the news unfold, never a dull moment. Students today create our future.